in dividends. My career has been built on blood, sweat, tears, and hard work, but also on community, on human connection. It took decades for me to muster the confidence to share the lessons I've learned in a book, or to even believe I had the authority to write a book. But I feel equipped today to help anyone who's in the place where I was 20 years ago. Broke, scared, stuck, and wanting more out of life than what my community envisioned for me. I'll tell you the story of how I got from there to where I am today. A 40-year-old woman who's built a rewarding career, found financial security, and even more important, has created the life she dreamed of. Of course, I'm not finished. I'm still learning and growing. But my life has changed so much that I do believe some of those early chapters have finally closed, and I can look back on them and share my discoveries and bumps in the road with candor, transparency, and hopefully a little bit of humor. It wasn't always glamorous, believe me. I'm excited to tell my story and even more excited to help you discover your story and your best life ahead. Because you may not want to be a hairstylist, and building a product line might be the furthest thing from your mind, but we all want to live the life that we were meant for. That's universal. We all want to have a life full of purpose. We want to feel loved and find success however we define it. The question I get asked more than any other is, how did you get your start? Actually, I get 3 questions. How did you get your start? How can I get to work with celebrities? And does your husband have a brother? The answer to the latter 2, the same way you get to do anything, by working hard and being a good person. And no, just a sister. And sorry, she's married. It's a good question because I grew up very far away from the life I lead now. I didn't know anyone when I arrived in LA. I didn't have high-profile connections who could make career-changing introductions. I didn't even go to college. I grew up in Hawaii and Utah, the middle sister of 3 girls. I was the rule-breaking, adopted daughter in a Mormon family where my life was planned for me at an early age. Both of my obedient sisters served Mormon missions for 2 years. A Mormon mission is basically a service trip where you knock on doors. Think the Book of Mormon. You volunteer doing humanitarian and church work. All I served was major attitude. I was supposed to graduate high school and seminary class, stay away from R-rated movies and explicit lyrics, and upon turning 18, quit my job at Little Caesars and marry my high school boyfriend after he completed his Mormon mission, with the goal of starting a family by 21. I was supposed to follow the teachings of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints or risk being banned to hell and deprived of my family for all time and eternity. Super chill. It was either or. No big deal, right? By the time I was a teenager, I developed what I like to call the Little Mermaid syndrome. I wanted more. I wanted to be a part of that world. And by that world, I mean the non-Mormon world. The one I saw on MTV and read about in Tiger Beat, but couldn't be a part of myself. I was so curious about who I really was and what I was meant to be. And I was absolutely fascinated by stories of beauty and transformation. If a movie didn't have a makeover scene or a shopping montage, I wasn't interested. I loved music, fashion, and pop culture. While my friends were memorizing scripture, I was buying Bop magazine to get the fold-out posters of New Kids on the Block and Paula Abdul. Growing up, the only salons I knew of were located in suburban strip malls. But still, I loved tagging along with my mom for her weekly appointments at Supercuts, Fantastic Sam's, or my personal favorite, United Hairlines. She'd get a perm and then get her hair set, and she always had her nails done. I still remember the smell of the perm. I could have watched the stylist work on her hair for hours. No matter what my mother was doing, even if she had 0 plans that day, she always got herself dressed nicely and put on a full face of makeup, and I saw how that changed her mood. She'd wake up feeling blah, get glammed, and instantly have a better attitude. I definitely absorbed the idea that there was power in looking your best to feel your best, but it never occurred to me that it was even possible for me to be a hairstylist. During the COVID-19 pandemic, I'd FaceTime my parents, and my mom always had on her whole look, eyeliner included. She was literally all dressed up with nowhere to go. From what I saw all around me, not to mention in the movies, like Edward Scissorhands.